Welcome back. Let's now talk about this REST pattern and also REST parameters. The REST pattern looks exactly like the spread operator. This REST pattern also has the same syntax with the three dots, but it actually does the opposite of the spread operator. Actually, we used the spread operator to build new arrays or to pass multiple values into a function. So, those are the two use cases of the spread operator. And in both the cases, we used the spread operator to expand an array into individual elements. Now, the REST pattern uses the exact same syntax, but to collect multiple elements and condense them into an array. And also, the spread operator is to unpack an array, while rest is to pack elements into an array. So, simply we say that rest is opposite of spread. Let us take a look in that. In the last lecture, we used the spread operator like this, like we need to create one array and then with that array we are passing elements that 1, 2, and here using spread operator, and then we are passing the elements or the name of the array. So like this we displayed like this. But now here in the rest, here we have used the spread syntax, that is on the right side of the equal sign, that is assignment operator, right side of the equal sign we used the spread operator. So let's write here right side of the equal sign. So this is spread because this is right side of the equal sign. Here we have using the same operator on the left side also. This is of the assignment operator together with the destructing. So now we are mixing kind of everything together here. Let's write here main const. So we are destructing this array. So here give this and then this is equal. Let's write the elements as 1, 2 and then 3, 4, 5. Now I want to say that if we want to take the first element and store it in a variable a, that is here I am giving a. So I need to store that first element in a like that. Here second element in b, and now I am using the rest pattern. So write three dots and then give the name as others. So here, what is the scenario means I want to store this first element in A and then the second element in B and the remaining all in this others. Here we have written in this left hand side of the equal sign. So write this is rest because left hand side the equal sign. And then write console.log A B value and then others. Now let's reload here. See, it displayed that 1, 2 and then remaining all are in rest. Because we have written the rest operator here, so it takes all the remaining elements of the array and then place them into new array. Now let us see an example that using both spread and rest. Right, const that is equal. I'm giving here using the restaurant's starter menu and the main menu. So write operator, spread operator, restaurant dot main menu, and then restaurant dot starter menu, and then now here in the starter menu and main menu, this is the first place pizza and the third place risotto. I'm taking here these two, first one and then the third one. Here write, create a new variable that pizza, and then give a space, one space, and then write risotto. Now I'm giving here the rest operator, give this, and then giving others food. I need to place all the remaining in this others food. So let's log this into console.log pizza risotto, then other food. Now let's reload here. See here the string it displayed pizza and then risotto the string. Now here the remain others foods are displayed as these four, and here see these are from this starter menu, and now here the rest syntax collects all the array after the last variable. Here in this case, after risotto, it does not include any skipped elements. It just placed the all the rest of the elements. That's it. It will not include the skipped elements. And now here I will show you that I am adding here bread. So let's check. Here we see that rest element must be the last element. So we can't add here like this. So this rest element is the last one. So for that reason, we have only one rest in any destructuring assignment. Okay. Let's now see an example with the objects also. Objects. And let's now work here with our opening hours. Here we want to select only Saturday. Remaining days are go to the rest, that is which are the weekdays. So Thursday and Friday are the working days and the Saturday is the weekday. So let's now write here that const object Saturday, and then here using the rest, that is working days. I'm giving working days, and then that is from restaurant dot opening hours. Now let's log this into console. So working days. Let's see that reload, and then check here it displayed Thursday and Friday. Now the rest contains only the working days, that is a Thursday and Friday, because the Saturday we have taken this into its own variable already before. So it created the rest of the working days into new object. Now we have that the rest pattern works to collect elements in a destructuring assignment. Now let's write, actually we have that the first part is the structuring, and then now the second one is functions right here. In one functions. The second one use case was to pass the multiple arguments into a function at all the same time. Now let's write here in functions that const create a variable that is add this function and then here write add 2 comma 3 and then add 5 3 7 2 example and then add I'm now giving 8 2 5 3 2 1 4 etc. And here we can use the rest patterns and in this case it is actually called the rest parameters. So let's use the syntax then pass the argument that giving numbers and then now let's log this into console.log numbers. Now let's reload here. See here all the arguments that we are passed here in this add that are displayed here. This 2 comma 3 that is length of 2 and then this is 4 and then this is 7. What we have written here that displayed here. So remember that the rest syntax is taking multiple values or multiple numbers and then packs them all into one array. Now let us write some logic here. Let sum is equal 0 and for let I equal 0 and then I less than numbers dot length and then I plus plus. Now after that sum plus equal numbers of I. Here base numbers as sum. Now let's see the result. Here see it displayed that we have given add 2 comma 3 that is displayed 5. 5 plus 3 plus 7 plus 2 that is 17 and then add these two the total is 25. Now let's create another example that const giving x equal 23 5 then 7. Now give restaurants. This is the very good example that how spread is different from rest. Because after these numbers being spread here, will then after add this function here. Then they will immediately be collected the numbers array and then by the rest parameters. And then here pack them back again into an array. Now here after working with the function it displayed that the result is 35. 23 plus 5 plus 7 that is 35. And then now here I am writing that in the last lecture we ordered pasta and now I want to add that here. I want to order pizza. So write here order pizza, that is function, and here the ingredients and for the rest of the parameters are perfect. So let's say here that the main ingredient and then the remaining all other ingredients. And in the block, write console.log main ingredient and then again write console.log. I'm specifying here separately other ingredients. Now let us order our pizza. Let's here restaurant dot order pizza. We need to specify our ingredients here, that is I'm giving mushrooms and then onion and the next one olive and then the next one I'm giving spinach. So now let's see the result. Here it displayed that mushrooms, that should be a string, and then the remaining all on the rest. That is here see we have given that ordered pizza, that function main ingredient, that should be this mushrooms, and then remaining all the rest in other ingredients, that should be all these rest are created an array. So now let's write here restaurant dot order pizza and then here write mushrooms. Now let's reload here. See, it displayed an empty array. Nothing to collect into the array. We still get an empty array that we can work with if we want. Now in this function, we could create a string based on all of these ingredients. So this is all about the rest parameter serves collect all of the remaining basically unused parameters that were not used is this. So let's take a simply quick recap of these two. The spread operator and rest operator both look exactly the same, but they two are work in opposite ways. That is depending on where they are used. So the spread operator is used where we would otherwise write values separated by a comma and will be displaying on right side of the equal sign. On the other hand, the rest pattern is basically used where we would write the variable name separated by commas. So always remember that when and where to use these rest and stop. I hope that now you have a better clarity about all these. We'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you.